Hi everyone, it's Laurel O'Sullivan, your Astro Advocate, here to talk to you about Mercury going direct on November 3rd and to talk to you about Mercury square Saturn. What does it mean? I want to break it down for you. First of all, you might have noticed that things have been a little wonky in your communications because Mercury has been retrograde since October 13th in the sign of Libra. So what does it mean when a planet goes retrograde? Well, it doesn't actually mean that the planet goes backwards. It only looks like that from the perspective of looking at the planet in relation to Earth because it's slowed down so much. But it's really just slowed down. And when a planet goes retrograde, it's an opportunity for us to feel that energy of that planet inwardly on a deeper level. So I actually think of retrogrades as a gift. And when it pertains to the sign of Mercury, which is about our voice, our choice, our communication, our thinking, our decision making, how we interact with others. This is an opportunity to go back to redo, reflect, reassess, reimagine. You get the idea, all these words. Basically to improve, to take inventory. And this happens 3 times a year with Mercury, and it lasts about 3 weeks each time. So it's really an opportunity to go back in inventory and to understand how we can make improvements. So it's a little sort of like self-help opportunity from the universe, thanks to the universe. Now, it is true that I've experienced it certainly, but technology and things like that can go wonky. But I've actually traveled during Mercury retrograde, haven't experienced problems with that. So I think it's a little bit of a misnomer, and if we can reshift and reframe our thinking, we can start to think of these periods of time as actually an opportunity to make some improvements for the better. So Mercury going retrograde, and then turn direct on November 3rd, the election, just like it did in 2000. And here we are waiting and waiting and stressed and not having results and having flashbacks. And I have a lot of empathy. And I also want to say that I truly believe that the energies of the universe are always working out on our behalf. And that's one of the reasons that I actually became really interested in using astrology and to understand not only myself, but also as a sense of assurance, to understand that we're always being supported. So right now, Mercury went direct in the sign of Libra, which has to do with fairness, with justice, with our social justice system. The scales of balance are the sign for Libra, so it's all about bringing things into harmony and balance. And the only aspect this week that's occurring, the only major aspect with planets, is Mercury making a square, which is a 90-degree angle to the planet Saturn. What does that mean? So an aspect is simply a relationship, how two planets, their energies are communicating through the angles that they make. That's what an aspect is. And when we have a 90-degree angle, it's a square, so we experience that inward. But remember, the energy plays out individually and it also plays out collectively. So Mercury in the sign of Libra, justice, squaring Saturn, authority, restriction. It makes sense that we are having this delay because I profoundly believe that whatever the results are with this election, that all of it is happening for our higher good. Whoever the individual is who wins, we as a country need to do a lot of healing and reforming of our structures that make up our democracy in this country. Remember, the whole theme of 2020 with Saturn, Capricorn, or Saturn, Jupiter, and the South Node, and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, which is the sign of government, it's been about rebuilding the structures. And in order to rebuild, something has to fall apart, something has to break, something has to be released. And so we're being asked to do that individually, but it's also something that's going to be playing out, and we've seen it playing out in a lot of painful and unpleasant ways. But before something can be rebuilt and healed, it has to fall apart. And so I believe that's part of what this delay is about, is that we are all being given an opportunity to kind of reflect and truthfully reassess our democracy and what we think of it and how we maybe see ourselves as being part of the solution to that. So I know it's really painful and stressful to have this delay. Mercury is, I think by the end of the week, we should hopefully have a result because Mercury will not be, the square to Saturn will be going away, and with it hopefully there will be some clarity. So I want to share a little bit about where each of you might have been experiencing some kind of frustrations, delays, or reassessments, what area of life that is for each of the signs. And then now that it's direct, though, your homework is to reflect on how that's been playing out for you, or maybe what realizations that you've had over the last 3 weeks, now that Mercury is going direct. Because remember, where it is that Mercury goes retrograde, that's an opportunity for slowing down and reassessing how we communicate, the choices we make in that area of life. And for Aries, this has been, you've been feeling this in your relationship, your one-on-one relationships and partnerships with others. So is there something, a realization and insight that you had that you've now reassessed how you're going to be handling that relationship, or how you communicate or show up moving forward? For Taurus, this is about work and service and your health. You might have experienced some challenges, because remember, it's not that there are no challenges. Whatever kind of shows up in our life as adversity or challenges is here to teach us something. So was there a lesson that you had in the last 3 weeks around those areas of life, and what are you ready to move forward on, or that you maybe feel renewed about or have some new insight? For Gemini, this has to do with your area of self-expression, your creative self-expression of joy, relates to children and to romance. So was there something in this area of your life, maybe a creative project for work, that you were redoing, reassessing, reflecting on, and you're now ready to move forward in a stronger, clearer way? Cancer, this is happening for you in the area of life that has to do with your home, your family, but also your deepest sense of emotional security. Maybe you've been feeling a little bit beleaguered or heavy thoughts, and now you feel a sense of lightness, or something maybe in your home life has got more clarity or renewed strength moving forward. For Leo, this has to do with your everyday communication with people in your immediate surroundings, but also like work communications, things like email, sales, marketing, anything to do with the internet or online, social media. Maybe you took a hiatus, maybe there are things that weren't working so well, or maybe there's some project you've been working on that you're ready to now move forward with. For Virgo, you've probably been doing some reflecting or reassessments around your money, around your resources, around how you support yourself. Maybe you've been coming up with some kind of a new plan or a new budget or a new way of understanding things that you're ready to begin implementing. For Libra, this is you. This is about a renewed sense of you. Mercury has been in your sign, so it may have something to do with the way that you show up and the way you express yourself and communicate. For Scorpio, this has been in a little bit more of a subtle hidden area. You might have you might have gotten some clarity around maybe some fears that you realize really are here to actually help you. You've reassessed them. It might be a project you've been working on that's sort of hidden or behind the scenes more, and you were doing some revising of that. So those are some of the ways that can show up. For Sagittarius, this has to do with your friends, your community. Maybe you were gaining clarity, or maybe some friends were dropping away, or old ones reappeared, and you're reevaluating those and reassessing those. And that's what Mercury retrograde in your house of friendship communication, as well as your long-term goals. You might have been kind of reassessing or reconsidering those. In Capricorn, this is your career house. So maybe things were a little wonky or difficult, or filled with tension around your communications in the workplace. Maybe with a boss or authority figure, there's been some tension, and now that's kind of been straightened out, or you feel this renewed sense of, I can handle this. I see it from a different perspective. For Aquarians, this has to do with your worldview, how you see the world, how you understand your place, and it also has to do with higher knowledge, higher learning, so something potentially related to university, or maybe to, this has to do with foreign citizenship and things like that, so maybe something in that area of your life was being straightened out, and now you have clarity and the ability to move forward. And finally, for Pisces, this is the house of shared resources, our deepest level of intimacy with another. It also has to deal with pragmatic things like taxes and money that we share with another. And so this maybe has been an area where you've been redoing, rethinking, revising, or coming to more clarity about how you can more deeply connect with someone. So I hope you can see how Mercury retrograde, which again happens 3 times a year for 3 weeks, is really a gift. It's an opportunity. And I hope in these areas of your life, you've received some kind of gift or a reflection or an understanding of how you can move forward and communicate in a clearer way. And remember, this week, things might be challenging with this Mercury square Saturn, which we might experience as an internal tension, but it's also a great opportunity um, to work on some project that requires a lot of mental analysis, because this is about kind of like a lot of back and forth, a lot of trying to refine something, remember, to improve something, but it'll feel a bit tense or tension filled. So I hope that it's also possible that we can channel that Mercury square Saturn to improve a project we've been working on, to improve our communications. Yes, it might feel a little bit tension filled, but it'll bring us clarity if we can be focused. And of course, that is the hope and the aim and the goal of the delays that we're experiencing right now with the results of the election, that it will ultimately lead to a higher result. So I hope this video has been helpful. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're interested in having a birth chart consultation, I do offer those monthly, and we'll include the link below. And I also offer monthly coaching and mentorship where we tap into the energy of your unique blueprint birth chart to help you to reach your highest good.